Taliban enter Afghan capital as U.S. diplomats evacuate the chopper. Reuters story. Taliban insurgents entered Afghanistan capital Kabul on Sunday as the United States evacuated diplomats from the embassy by helicopter. More American troops were being sent to help in the evacuations after the Taliban's lightning advances brought the Islamist group to Kabul in a matter of days. Just last week, the U.S. intelligence estimates that Kabul could hold out for at least 3 months after U.S.-led forces withdrew the bulk of their remaining troops in the last month. The Taliban campaign accelerated as the Afghan military defenses appeared to collapse. President Joe Biden on Saturday authorized the deployment of 5,000 U.S. troops to evacuate citizens and ensure an orderly and safe drawdown of the military personnel. U.S. defense officials said that included 1,000 newly approved troops from the 82nd Airborne Division. Kai, can you pull up that video? I want to show the video with the plane. It's pretty, I mean, at this point of the game, people have seen this. This thing's probably gotten 1 billion views. And not just this video here. I mean, there's, can you make it bigger? So this is a C-17. I think it's called the Ghostmaster. Boeing. People are hanging on.
Yeah. Those people shouldn't be on the runway, by the way.
Because they want to leave. They don't want to stay. They're so scared. Now, give the other video of the plane taking off, Kai.
Oh, that's tough.
I don't know if, well, listen, this next part, either watch it or don't watch it, but watch it at your own discretion because do you have it or you don't have it, Kai?
It's coming down.
Oh, it's coming up? Okay. Right there. That's the one. Okay, check this out. That's just a picture.
Yeah, it's...
See if you can find a video, Kai.
have you seen the video? For people that don't know what it is, man, it's the people were literally hanging on to the wings and then they fall off in midair. So,
Kai, obviously it's not here. Can you go find a video?
Yeah. And again, it needs to be said, there are not people clinging on to their fingernails into the wings of airplanes to escape capitalist America. There are not people floating on rafts made of trash to escape capitalist America. Well, you don't...
Lower the audio a little bit. There's people on, by the way. And the guy's laughing. That's not even the one I'm looking at. I'm looking for the one where the plane takes off and you see 2 bodies.
Yeah,
you know.
That's the one. That's the one. Watch this. 7.6 million views. Look at that.
Oh,
that's a body.
God. Oh,
that's
man.
another body. That's 2 bodies. Pause it. That's a disturbing scene to see what's going on over there, right? So again, I got a bunch of notes here, but I'll go to you guys. Well, what are your thoughts when you see what's going on over there? And the decision, all of it.
Yeah, I've actually taken some time to really do some research here and really just kind of formulate my thoughts, so I can kind of express this very clearly. So look, let's just break this down into what was then, what is occurring now, and what the future will hold, right? So what was then? So we, first and foremost, before we even get into any of the politics or what's going on, just respect and appreciation for the American troops that have been over there for the last 20 years giving their life for this cause. I think you as a former Army veteran, and we have Marines here, let's just start with that first and foremost, as well as the Afghani people that, you know, there's translators and communicators and everyone that's been involved. 6,000 Americans have given their lives and over 100,000 Afghanis, 20 years, $2 trillion. That's what's been. When we went there, what were our goals initially? We had a few different goals, specifically take down Al-Qaeda, not the Taliban, Al-Qaeda. Number 2, find Osama bin Laden. I know you interviewed his niece. That took 10 years to do. We went in there in 2001 after 9/11. And then when did Obama find him? In 2011, I want to say. It took 10 years of doing that. In my opinion, we should have got the hell out of there after our mission was accomplished with Osama bin Laden. For the past, I don't know, 5 years, whether it was Trump, now Biden, Trump ran on no more endless wars, get the hell out of Afghanistan. Did he not? No more endless wars. What the hell are we doing here? So this is not a political thing.
Pretty peaceful 4 years when he was president. There was not a lot of stuff going on.
Touche. He, back in 2020, he negotiated with the Taliban. The Afghani government wasn't even in the room when he was negotiating with the Taliban. That should have been a telltale sign the Afghani government no longer controls this country. Trump negotiated with the Taliban. So the writing's been on the wall. This was in May of 2020. They said September 11th of 2021, the 20-year anniversary of 9/11, we're all getting out of there. So Biden just basically followed through what Trump was doing. So that was then. The American people definitely do not have an appetite for this war anymore. Like, for the most part, the overall sentiment is let's get out of there. Now, talk about today. It's a freaking shit show. Nobody wants this type of exit strategy leaving Afghanistan. Nobody wants that. What's for sure, and we've seen this in Vietnam, we can go back in the day, Judah and the Maccabees, when Jewish people were fighting whoever was attacking Israel.
Yeah.
There's a big difference in willpower. So when you have the Taliban, they're not going anywhere. They're not stopping. They're not ceasing. We've been going after them for 20 years. It's like whack-a-mole. You're not stopping these people. And then the other side, you have the Afghan forces who are basically mercenaries getting paid. The money's dried up. They stopped fighting. Have they even fought? Do they even have the willpower or the appetite to fight anymore? Clearly not. President Ghani, Ashraf Ghani, he's left the country. He's nowhere to be found. They're gone. So the Taliban, I'm sure we're going to touch on how they've been making money, drugs and opium, and basically taxing people. They've controlled half the country for a while now. I do sympathize with the women, like what you talked about. The girl, what's the young girl's name who won the Nobel Peace Prize? Malala. She's come out there and she's definitely vocalized and emphasized the need for humanitarian and women and bringing maybe immigrants back to the United States. But Biden basically came out in his speech yesterday and he says, the buck stops with me. Whether you agree with him or not agree with him, I at least respect the fact that he's owning up to this. He's taking ownership. He's not saying anyone else.
Yeah, he said we did not think it was going to escalate this fast, this quickly.
It took 90 days. They expected 90 days. It happened in 10 days, which was faster than we took over the country in 2001. Let me put a bow on this whole thing. And that's what's going on now. Let's talk about the future. And you brought up China. This is a regional issue, okay? United States has been dabbling in this war. It's our longest war in American history for 20 years now. What have we accomplished, right? Like, we're not building democracies. We're not doing anything. We're not nation building at this point. This is a counterterrorism mission, right? So moving forward, what will our future look like? There's two countries at the center of all this, and there will be from backlash from there. The countries at the center of this are obviously Pakistan, who's been supporting Taliban not so secretly for 20 years. And then who's supporting Pakistan? China. China's right behind Pakistan, basically saying, we got your back. So the country that I think needs to step up in all this in the absence of the United States is India. They border China. They border Pakistan. They're right on the border of Afghanistan. And if they don't want this shit show to come into their country and have, the border of Pakistan and India has already been called the most dangerous border in the world. Yeah. So, in my opinion, let's get to see what happens with that.
Well, there's disputed territories as well.
Of course. But basically, in that region, obviously, you have Iran, you have Russia, and it's just, let's just see what happens there. And last but not least, let's see what happens here in the United States, because there's going to be political fallout from this. Does this help Biden? Does this hurt Biden in the midterms? Short term, let's focus on short term. This is not a good look. Long term, he's going to be the one to say, I got us out of Afghanistan. Obviously, he's thinking about that when the midterms come around or if he runs for re-election. So at the end of the day, does this situation make America look strong or weak? In my opinion, weak.
So if you enjoyed this little short segment from the podcast that we did, here's another short segment to watch. Or if you want to see the entire podcast, click over here. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.